Let's make the best DPS minion in the game. Welcome back to another Bit Legend video. All right, boys. So to wrap up my minion making spree, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Sword God, last one. So she's one of the most recent minions added into the game, and let's talk about it. So 10% speed, and she's very fast already, and then if 200% crit damage, so that's pretty crazy. However, you might know that if a minion doesn't have crit chance, they cannot crit at all, so crit damage would not help them. So let's explain how this minion works. Looking at the stats, I actually really like stats like this. This is actually one of my favorites. I think her stamina could be a little bit higher, but as I get more total stats and I get to a final build, I think we can make it work. It should be okay. Her attack stat is a little bit low, but look at all that speed. So the thing is, with a lot of speed, you're reducing your chance of getting just blown up by reflex. I think she could probably still reflex kill herself because if she doesn't get a crit, her damage is going to be so high anyways. But with a lot of speed, you can make a lot of decisions in PvP. Maybe you can take out the enemy before they take you out. I like it. I think it's the way to go. But we'll check it out. Attack the closest enemy. 1 SP attack furthest enemy. 650 crit damage. Crit rate increases by 50. I mean, it's crazy. So that means she'll have the 200% that she has plus this, so that'll be 850% crit damage. What? Also, I know the minions have their own damage types. You know, we've seen thermal and cold and all that stuff. I wonder if in the future there will ever be a class build that has like a damage type debuff. Like if you could debuff the enemy's cold resistance by 50%, I wonder if that would be a thing to do. But, you know, hey, well, if that happens, we'll talk about it. But that'd be very interesting because you could definitely build to boost up a minion like this. But so she'll get 50% crit, and that would be effective 850%. 1 SP attack furthest. Going down here, Sword Dance. She's getting 40% crit. She's hitting the closest enemy. For the same damage multipliers, however, she's going to get more crit damage. So she gets 800 plus her 200, which is 1,000. So 1 SP, 40% crit, 1,000 crit damage. Yeah, amazing. And then Slash, 1 SP. She's going to attack all enemies, 30% crit, and she's getting 400% crit damage plus her 200, which is 600. And then down here, Zanshin Slash. So her damage multiplier on all these except for the basic attack it's all the same. This is going to be target enemy, 4,000% crit damage, and then she's got 2, so it's going to be 4,200 crit damage, 4,200 crit damage, and then here her crit rate increases by 25%. So when she first came out, there was a bug, and so she had a 100% crit rate, and you can imagine she was doing phenomenal damage. She was doing like twice the damage that Orbit Girl does, and I'll show her towards the end of the video. So a +0 Sword Guy was doing twice the damage that a +10 Orbit Girl was doing. It was ridiculous. It was busted. It got fixed. And then now she's kind of like she's top 10, top 5 damage. Not consistent. If you get a crit, it's great. If you don't, you know, it's just meh. But they have announced augments and plugins and ways to itemize your minions. So if there's any way to put crit on her, any amount of crit, she will start to shine. I would probably try to max her crit out, honestly, and then I would just spam this skill. I would try to get 75% crit on her or as much as possible and just spam the 4 SP skill. And I mean, goodness gracious, things would just explode. It'd be crazy. Also, engineers do have an ability that gives a target ally on their team, I think 75% crit or something like that. So I'd love to see some content of an Engie if they were going to put crit on her and just let her blow stuff up. But that's kind of a janky build to play. You need to make sure that your turn rate is right and all that. So I don't know. But let's make her. Let's do it. She is not the most difficult to make, but she is not the easiest either. So we need to make Hero to make her. Science Vessel is the goblin in, I think, Raid 4. Whichever Frozen Tundra is that Raid 3? But Science Vessel is the rare spawn, so very rare. Claymore Gladiator is the new name of the Raid 2 boss, so he was not difficult at all to get. I got this guy hunting for something else, and I was very happy about it. So if you see this thing pop up, that's a really good opportunity to throw gems at that. I would suggest it. I've had friends try to hunt this guy down specifically, and they've gone like 100 raids and never seen one. It was really difficult. However, I do think the rates of the rare spawns might have been buffed a little bit, but still difficult, not fun. Hero on his own was a decent minion, DPS minion that some players were using. However, there's so many good offensive minions in the game that there's not a lot of space for this guy also. His stamina is so low that I don't think you can really use him in a lot of content. Like Guild Boss 4, he'd probably just get blown up immediately, and that's really what we're thinking about. And that's really it. So you get Queen. She is a rare spawn in Raid 8. I think you see her every 3 or 5 raid runs. She's not super difficult. I caught this one with the autopilot just on loops. So there you go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And then excavators, you'll probably catch enough of these just with Persuade when you go into Raid 7 to catch minions for Poseidon Shark and for the other guys in the other videos. So I just got this guy with gold. Let's make Sword God. God of Swords. I do plan, well, my current plan is, because we don't have any information about augments, my current plan is to slowly over time try to stable this girl all the way up. If it is viable, I'd like to keep Zeus and Poseidon and whoever else I'm running, keep them all at +0, and then over time get her up to +10. If augments come and I can add crit to her, I think there's going to be nothing close to what she can do. But you never know. New stuff's always getting added to the game. I'm not really a big fan of the art. It's just a preference thing. I don't really like the Gundam anime kind of stuff. It's not my jam. But I don't dislike it, so I don't have a problem with it. So there you go. Let's jump into some content. We're gonna have a little special guest today, and let's show you what I'm talking about. It's not Moonlight. Moonlight's not a special guest. You're not special, Moonlight. Get out of here. You will note that my +10 epics do have more total stats than the other guys. So Cyborg King, he's not even a fusion. He's just a +10 from Raid 8, and same with the other Cyborg. Azure's +10 as a fusion. Final Max a fusion +10. Moonlight. I might actually do a video sometime showing off the Cyborg team, just to see if, like, a super budget build, if somebody could run +10 cyborgs and actually clear content and do what they need to do. I think it's possible. I think that you could do it. Let's get God of Swords on here, and let's get our secret special guest, Orbit Goddess. So there you go. Let's talk about her before we jump into here. She is currently the highest DPS minion in Guild Boss. I don't think anybody has topped her. In a long battle, she really starts to shine. So she's got some speed, she's got a ton of smite, low on the attack stat, low on the stamina. So that means she's gonna have more stats into her offensive, attack, into speed and agility, all that kind of stuff. She really would destroy herself with a reflect, but kind of everybody destroys themselves with a reflect. Like, if you're not blowing yourself up on reflect, are you even a DPS at this point? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so she's got attack nearest. She's got a 1 SP attack target, 1 SP attack through random, a 4 SP attack nearest enemy, big multiplier there, and she actually has a healing skill on there, but probably nobody uses that. So yeah, we're gonna try her out. Like I said, I only really like her in Guild Boss because the battle is so long, so I feel like she's not penalized so much for having lower speed, because if you look at my other minions, they've got more speed, you know what I'm saying? But she does have she has low health, like really low health. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's like 5.5 thousand total stats, something like that. And so just kind of, that'll be your reference. But enough talking, let's actually jump in here. We're probably gonna run off the rest of my regen and just see how it goes. And of course we're gonna do autopilot. When I do Guild Boss stuff, I will probably manual these folks, but that's a new team. It's a bit messy. They're super big minions on the team. I think there's a couple things that you can do to make stuff pop in a game like this. One is form. You know, you can just have a different form. Let's look at my shield, for example. You can have a shield that looks like this, a shield that looks like that. That's just form. The next thing is color. So you can offer different colors. And then you start to get towards other things that really add a lot of visual noise. One is size. You want to, hopefully my team doesn't get destroyed while I'm talking. You want to really try to reserve using size for super special things, like Thunder Fury being super big. I get it, because it's Thunder Fury. It's one of the most prestigious weapons in the game. So Thunder Fury being kind of big, I give it a pass. But with all these other minions being, you know, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, I think a big part of it is because they want to fit in so much detail. But I feel like a retro game, an 8-bit or 16-bit art game, pixel game, you really want to try to minimize and simplify, you know, in my opinion. But hey, if you guys don't agree, feel free to let me know. Beautiful shielding skill out of Zeus Bird. That is probably going to keep my guys relatively healthy. I'm wondering if anybody's going to die in this run. Hopefully not, but you never know. Shielding skill definitely coming in handy there. I'm liking that a lot. But anywho, yeah, they're so big. So big. And then like we've had difficulties before where you're trying to click on somebody. Let's say I want to click on Poseidon Shark right now to heal him or something. It might not be the most easy thing. So kind of curious on how they're going to deal with that. Also, the teams are kind of shifted a little bit towards the left side of the screen. And so maybe if they kind of space things out a little bit better, maybe that'd be helpful. You get a little more space in there and make it a little bit less visual clutter as well. You know, hey, it works. Let's run a couple more. I think I have like one or two more that we could do. But I'm interested on what you guys had to say about the art. Yeah, let's do two more, and that'll wrap it up. This is the team I'm going to run in Guild Boss. I don't know what I'm going to do with PvP. We'll see. PvP, yeah, we'll see on that one. But for expeditions, which used to be called trials, this is the team I'm going to be running. There's a little visual bug on her health. She's actually not about to die, hopefully. But yeah, Guild Boss, man. I want to get my team to the point where it's not a complete waste of time for me to attack Guild Boss 4. It probably still is, but hey, we're doing something. I think once they add in augments and I can, you know, put some crit on some guys, put some speed on my healers, I think that we'll start to catch up and start to close the gap between DPS players. Who knows? They might actually add another Sword God type minion that is just crazy. I think the sky's the limit. Hopefully they do it in a good way. Nothing that's, you know, breaking the game too much. What's really good about the fact that we cannot use duplicate minions is one minion can't really break the game anymore. If I could use 4 of a kind, then I could just stack a bunch of sword gods, which I absolutely would do in a heartbeat if it was possible. But you're very close to breaking the game when you're doing stuff like that. So even though I have my bias and I like having a team of all the same minions and just me being a tank in the front, I do think this is better for the health of the game. I just hope that it's not super, super crazy difficult to itemize all these guys when augments come out. But there you go. I think we've got, one more? I think we've got one more round. We're taking a good amount of damage. Hopefully Zeus Bird can make it happen with the autopilot. Keep in mind, there we go, shield team's kind of nice. Keep in mind, again, this is autopilot doing its thing, so if I was manualing this, I'd have a lot more control. But I'll save manual for Guild Boss. And I know I mentioned it before, but we did clear the 4th wave of Guild Boss 4, so that is really good. At the time of filming this, we have Guild Boss 5 down to 75%, and only half of my guild has used their attacks. So if half attacks and we do 25, the other half can attack, and we can probably get it down close to like 50%, maybe even more. And you only need to get it to 60% to get the first loot drop. So that was pretty good. I think we have, one more? But yeah, if you get Guild Boss 5 down to 60%, he drops a mythic. And then if you get him down to 30%, he drops another mythic. So I'm definitely putting my bet that we'll get the first drop. I think next week we've got a realistic chance to get it down one more go. So let's run this. And let's wrap it up. So let's see if the last one was a fluke. See if anybody gets blown up. We were taking a good amount of damage. I would like Zeusbird to heal a little bit more. I kind of wish the AI was a little bit more intentional. They made the AI not super intelligent. intentionally, I think, kind of just to incentivize manual play on difficult content. But I think the AI should have a little bit more intelligence to it. You know, if my team doesn't have shields, I want my AI chance to use the shielding skill to be increased. If somebody's super low, I damn sure want my AI to heal, you know? I kind of see it like I'm almost training my team. And then once they're trained, they should know what to do. You know, I hit that button, they go loop it. That's how it happens. But anywho, like right now, I'd like to see Zeusbird use the 2 SP heal shield target on himself, but we shall see. You are seeing the Earth cosmetic. I might keep it. I might keep the cosmetic or not. I don't know. There we go. Zeusbird doing exactly what I want. I like it. He can hear me. I kind of like having the pet there. Obviously, right now, I'm kind of wearing it as a flex, being like, hey, I got the new pet, even though I'm not using it. But I kind of like the visual indicator of the pet attacking. So that's kind of cool, too. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably end up removing it over time. But it looks pretty cool. I actually don't like the little aura around it. Then again, I always kind of prefer that minimal style. But just the Earth on its own, I feel like it looks good enough. I like the super, super subtle aura the Jupiter has, which I do actually have that pet. I'm going to keep Jupiter if I ever go DPS. I'm probably just going to have Jupiter for the memes and just hope things go well. But, yeah, it's pretty good. What I want to see in the next guild bosses is I want to see either 2 guild bosses or 3 guild bosses in the same battle. You know, just balance it appropriately, you know, and whatnot. But that way we'll see some diversity. Right now we're only fighting single target bosses. The trash is meaningless. So what I'd like to see is, like, we've all seen games where you have like you have to fight the twins, or you have to fight the 3 brothers or something like that. I think that would spice it up. And you could also have like maybe the strategy would be everybody would focus on one of the 3 guys. So if the bosses are A, B, and C, maybe everybody would focus on C just to take him out as fast as possible. Then the fight gets easier. Or if, let's say, some of your guildies have weapons and minions that are really good against multi-target, you would have all of those guys attack first, and then they would kill one of the bosses, you know? And then players that had a really good composition against a single target enemy would wait until there's like 1 or 2 left. But those are ideas. I'm pretty happy with my team. You guys can look forward to seeing more content videos. I know I've got the flags going up. The campaign videos are going up. That's going to be going up for a while. At the time of filming this, I'm stuck at 16.6, and I got my butt whooped there. It's very, very difficult. The boss is the red jellyfish dude, and you have to fight 3 of them, and they heal team, they shield team or whatever, they attack team. It's a nightmare. So maybe this team comp will help me. Let's show total stats and let's get out of here. Yeah, 5.5. Okay, all right. So there you go. I'm happy with my minions, but guild boss is really going to be the indicator. And let me just go over here, click on the old guild. Click on the thing. What are we doing? Auction. This is what the last Guild Boss 4 dropped. So this is the 4th Guild Boss 4. So we got Slayer's Deceit, the Mercy, the Headpiece, and then a tank gun that's going to go in the trash can because we don't need any more of those. I would like them to add some sort of recipe for when you destroy an unwanted set. If you got like a material, then 2 materials, you could craft something that you want. I don't know, something. But because there's more DPS players in the game than there are tanks and healers by far, this is going to be an issue in the future. So we'll see. But what else will I show? Let me show you Guild Boss stuff. So there we go. This is the 4th wave of Guild Boss. If I wanted to reset, you can do 4 total resets, which means you can fight 5 total waves. The last one costs 60. So we're not going to do that this week, but next week there's a really good chance that we could do it. Actually, let me go back. I'm being a big dummy. Let's go back. We do have a handful of strong attacks remaining. So some of these 20s are because if we had people disconnect. If you disconnect during a fight, you lose the attack, you lose the damage, it's gone. There's nothing you can do about it. It feels bad. But we do have a handful of strong boys here we got some strength left here. So not enough to do a 1 through 4, probably. I don't know, maybe not. I'll just solo it all, actually. But, yeah. I think next week, based on all the upgrades we've had this week, we can probably do 5 waves. And then let me show you Guild Boss 5, and then let's get out of this rather long video. So there you go. It's now down to 70%. My teams, we rotated one guy out. He was able to get all his attacks off. So if you have someone that's going to rotate out of your guild, what you want to do is set up your teams, enable it so they can battle, and then tell everybody in that team. So I told everybody in Team 5, hey, this guy needs to rotate out, do all of your attacks immediately. Everybody did their attacks, and then he's able to leave after he does his attacks. Everybody got their hits in, and then they're fine. They're good to go. And then with members, you can see this little member button up at the top, right next to the boss. It says member. You can now check on the attacks. So there you go. You can see everybody that's done their attacks. A lot of our people are going to wait until the last day, which is like probably tomorrow. I think Blue and King, they had a disconnect as well. So they're going to be stuck at 2. But I think we've got enough muscle on here. Oh yeah, we got enough muscle on here to be able to get that down 10% more. 10% more, and you can get those mythics I talked about. So there you go, 2.5 days remaining. And I'll keep you guys posted. As always, appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next video.